Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jackie and this is baby Zuri. Today we're going to be talking about postpartum care. So I've put together a little list for you guys to follow of things that are a must-have in postpartum care. A lot of people don't really talk about postpartum, and I thought that it would be really important to share this list with you on things that I use. I personally had a C-section, but some of the things that I've included is also some of the things that I've included is also for vaginal birth. So you might, if you are expecting or if you are planning to have a baby, you might want to pay attention to this list and get a pen and paper. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so for me, number one on the list that you need to get is disposable underwear. Now this would go for vaginal birth and C-section. You gotta make sure you have some disposable. Yes, you gotta have disposable underwear. I suggest getting 6 pairs. I got 6 pairs and I use them all because I had an extended stay in the hospital, so I was pretty glad that I had extra so that I never ran out. The last thing you want to do is run out of underwear in the hospital. So definitely get yourself some disposable underwear because you really do bleed a lot after you give birth. So number one on the list, disposable underwear. Another thing that you're going to want to look at is pads. Obviously you haven't had a period for 10 months and now it's like go time and you're going to be bleeding for like more than a month, and it's going to be different kinds of flow. So you want to get maternity pads, you want to get heavy flow pads, you want to get a variety. There's going to be some days where you're not even bleeding that much and you don't want to waste like very high flow pads. So make sure you get like panty liners, thinner pads. Just get a variety, guys. If in the beginning you don't want to get maternity pants, a nice thing you can get is the Always Discreet. They like diapers but for women, adult diapers. It's specifically for this, so I will definitely leave a link in the description below for you guys to purchase the Always Discreet. And if you're getting the Always Discreet, I would suggest not getting the disposable diapers because the disposable panties, because it's all in one. So instead of getting maternity pads and disposable panties, you can actually get the Discreet that is like diapers. So definitely something to look at. Another thing that you're gonna need is breast pads. Last thing you want is during feeds to be leaking all over the place. And let me just tell you, once you leak breast milk, it's really uncomfortable because it's cold and it's just not good. So definitely stock up on breast pads. You can either get the disposable breast pads or you can get reusable. I personally use both. I use the reusable because it's a cheaper option and I really didn't have a problem with them. I also really like the Pigeon brand of breast pads, so definitely have a look at that. Another thing is, I would suggest that when you are booking a bed, you ask the people at the hospital what do they supply. Most of the time they supply the bare minimum. They supply the bare minimal, so you might want to look at this list and hear what they supply. I gave birth at a private hospital and I still had to provide my own linen savers and stuff like that, so I definitely would suggest you ask them first when you're booking your bed before you go out and buy all the stuff. But 9 times out of 10 they hardly supply anything, so you're gonna need this list. So another thing on the list is linen savers. They're gonna suggest that you bring linen savers. I don't know about the public hospital, but I definitely had a lot of linen savers and I also used it in the public hospital because I didn't want to have leakage on their sheets and stuff like that. So definitely get some linen savers. It's going to be on your hospital list if you give birth in a private hospital anyways. Another thing, this is specifically if you are giving vaginal birth, there might be Tarin, so you're gonna need a Peri bottle. Frida mom has a great Peri bottle that actually has the nozzle that makes it easier for you to squeeze and the water shoots just where it needs to be. So I'm gonna leave a link to the Frida bottle where you can purchase it on Amazon. Another thing is they do not suggest you wipe straight off the vaginal birth, so that's why you're going to need a Peri bottle. So yeah, I didn't, unfortunately this round I didn't have the pleasure of giving vaginal birth, but I know that a lot of moms use this and need it. With the Peri bottle, you're going to need Tuck's medicated cooling pads. This actually really helps with the discomfort down there after you got your stitches. It helps to cool everything down because it's like it gets a little bit crazy. So definitely would suggest, on the research that I've done, a lot of people suggest this, and I personally would use it. They do say that it also has witch hazel in, and I know that witch hazel is really good for healing and it provides a good cooling effect. So I'm gonna leave a link as well for the tucks in the link in the description box. Another thing that I would suggest you getting is surgical spirits or Savlon, surgical spirits or Savlon. After you have your C-section, you're gonna also need to be cleaning your wound after your doctor gives you the go-ahead. I used surgical spirits, and then I alternated between Savlon and surgical spirits. Both worked really well. My C-section was healed in no time. So definitely would suggest getting surgical spirits. And you're also going to use surgical spirits for your baby's navel, so it's got dual purpose. Another thing I would suggest is getting prenatals. It doesn't mean because, and this is where I'm messed up, guys, and the funny thing is I do have prenatals, I just don't take them. So it actually helps for you to take your prenatals after birth because it helps with reducing your hair loss, and it also helps with the necessary hormones that you still need, because when you lose your placenta you lose all those hormones. So definitely don't be like me, do as I say not as I do, and get yourself some prenatals. I would also suggest getting a nursing tea. This is something that I did and I do not regret it because my milk was popping after that. So definitely invest in some nursing tea. I've spoken about this time and time again and it's really helped me. But if you are not into the nursing tea, just get something that's just going to give yourself a little step ahead when it comes to the lactation department. So you can go for a bar, you can go for a nursing tea, just something to give you a step ahead. With the nursing tea, I would suggest getting a nipple cream. Very important, guys. If you plan to breastfeed, nipple cream, and I would suggest putting it start putting it on at least a month before you give birth to prepare yourself for that. I personally started a week before and my boob still suffered some trauma because of she wasn't latching correctly. So definitely get yourself some nipple cream. I'm gonna leave some links to suggested nipple creams in the description box below, so definitely have a look at that. With nipple cream, I would say a breast pump. I'm gonna leave, you can either get an electric breast pump or you can get a silicone. I would suggest for when you're on the go. And the thing with the I don't like about an electric breast pump is that it makes a lot of noise, and when your baby's asleep you just don't want that distraction. So I would say that it's good to have a silicone hands-free pump for you when you are on the go. It's easy to pack and just go with you all the time. So definitely look at getting that. I'm gonna leave a link to the one that I use in the description box below, and another one that is just the same that you can get on Amazon. Another thing that you're gonna need is a nursing bra. Mr. Price carries really cool stretchy nursing bras. It's not specifically for nursing, but it works just the same. So if you cannot invest and spend that extra money on nursing bras, definitely go to Mr. Price and get their stretchy range. It works just the same. With nursing bras, I'm gonna suggest you get nursing tank tops. It's just so much easier, guys, just to, in the middle of the night, just to pull that tank top down and expose the boob and feed your baby. Like, literally, new moms are so sleep deprived that the last thing you want to do is just get up and have extra work. Another thing that you're gonna also need is granny panties. After your C-section and after birth in general, you're not gonna want to wear your thongs, your lacy panties. You're not gonna want all of that. You're just gonna want easy underwear, looseness, just vibes, just relaxed, chill vibes. So I would suggest getting some high-waist granny panties. Yes, I call them granny panties because they are granny panties, but granny panties are the girl she thinks she is. You're not gonna want to leave them, but please, for the sake of your relationship, leave them when you are over this whole postpartum thing. So definitely invest in some high-waist, loose-fitting maternity or granny panties. So with that, you're gonna need some comfy pajamas for your hospital stay. When it comes to pajamas, I would highly suggest spending a little bit more money on this, because you're gonna be staying in your pajamas most of the time. You're not gonna be wanting to be changing into tight fitting clothes, especially when you just gave birth, whether it's via C-section or vaginal birth. So I definitely would suggest spending a little bit more money on your pajamas. I'm gonna link some cute little pajama after birth sets in the description below for you guys to look at, especially if you want to do cute pictures with your baby. So definitely would suggest getting some nice pajamas, because you're going to be spending most of your time in your pajamas. As you guys know, I spend a lot of time in pajamas still, and she's like almost 8 months. So definitely would suggest spending a little bit more money on there. You're gonna need some warm socks, some warm little slippers. I'm gonna leave a link to that as well from Amazon. I got, like, listen, if I could do my whole birth situation again, I would be cute as hell. I would wear like matching outfits for me and her, matching pajama outfits, like fluffy little, guys, I need to live vicariously through you, so I'm gonna link some ideas in the description below. Definitely would suggest that. Another thing that you're gonna also want to get a lot of is loungewear. After the hospital, you're going to be spending most of your time with baby, and it probably won't be in pajamas if you're going to be having guests over to see the baby, however you plan to do that. So I definitely suggest in stocking up on loungewear, because for a while you're not going to be able to wear your leggings, your jeans, and your tight fitting clothes. So loose fitting clothes but cute loungewear is your go-to. So I definitely would suggest that. Another thing I would say is definitely make sure that you get enough pads. You're always going to need pads, guys, so make sure that you stock up. Even with the maternity pads, don't just get 1 pack, get 2 packs just in case, because you don't know how your body's going to react. So definitely get 2 packs, and you can always get the ones that you didn't use to another mom who is having a baby. So it's a win-win. Definitely suggest that. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed creating it for you guys. I hope that it was really helpful for you guys, and if I did not mention something and it is something that was essential for you that has already given birth, please make sure that you comment down below. Of course, the Tux and the Peri Bottle is not for C-section. It's specifically for vaginal birth, especially if you're tall. It's gonna come in really, really handy for you, for your comfortability, and so definitely would suggest looking at that. I'm gonna leave the links to that in my description below. I love you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with new videos really soon, guys. Bye.